Ba-ba, 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 ba-ba. Hi, how's it going, guys? I was, I was rambling for the past minute or two, and I realized I haven't been streaming for a long time. I haven't made content long enough to forget to plug in my microphone. That was, that's my mistake. That's my mistake. But, hi, hello. This is Tyler. Welcome back to the channel. I haven't been playing games much because life has caught up with me. I'm working like 11-hour shifts, and twice a week I am donating plasma, so that's what I've been doing. I had a photo shoot recently, since at the time of recording, I've had a photo shoot recently with a household. It was fun. We had 5 hours of just trying to figure out poses. We had three different outfits. I messed up on one of them, however. My outfit for the fancy ended up making me looking like Dwayne Johnson because I had the jewelry and the turtleneck. It felt fun being in that situation, so that was fun. Just like, yo, I'm really getting into the whole like Dwayne stand kind of a thing, but that's fine. It's whatever. But I've been pretty busy. I would say that on top of just trying to keep things just clean, a lot of the housekeeping has been my responsibility. Like, I know Joanna is working 2 jobs, and it's weird. I don't know. Like, I do wish I had more time, just because I know they're struggling to work as much as I do, and I do think that despite everything that's been going on, we've been pretty busy, but it's been content, almost. We're content, and I think that's the best thing we can do at the moment. There's a lot of changes that are going on in the background. I'm not sure if I can say, but I think I'm okay despite like what's on my plate. I think I'm okay. I'm getting better with my health. I would think so, and as an update, I am still doing weight training almost every day. It may be a little bit, I may at least get one exercise in or a few throughout the day, if not every day of the week, and that's been a pretty good improvement. I've been working to incorporate like an exercise every 20 to 40 odd minute just to make sure I'm very active. I'm trying to be active, and I do have my reservations regarding what's going on in the background and just trying to live. But with everything accounted for, I'd say it's manageable for the moment, and I'm very happy with where we're at this time. I I do like to think that we're going somewhere, and it does feel like it's nowhere at the moment, but I do think that as things compound, the more I add on, it'll compound to something that's exponentially large. So, in the same way that I've spent so much of my time with my folks in my childhood than I will ever in my lifetime, that's a lifetime of events that I have had with my folks, and there's a lot of stories to be with there. So, I'm rambling. I don't know what's. I miss things. There are things that I miss doing, and I don't think this is the video to really reflect it quite yet, but we will record that during this session. So, yeah, that's what's been going on with me. I've been trying to catch up with you guys, and I want to be okay. I mean, I've done a lot of things in the household and with my coworkers and friends where we're okay. But I think there'll be a time where I want to be okay with myself. I it does, because I don't give the best compliments sometimes, and I don't know what to say at the right moments. But I hate the fact that I say things that hurt people by accident. But what can I say? We all do that. We all say things that will hurt or help us. So We are our own Ouroboros. We are eating our own tails into infinity. So that's what it is. But I dug up this piece of paper at the moment just because I figured, well, let's go back to form. I may or may not have a situation where I've already said things already, but hey, I want to get back into the whole podcasting because I want to massage my thought process with things. So as we go through these lists, we're gonna try to knock them down and go from there. My pen's ready, and I hope you're ready for the show. Let's see. One of the first questions I came across, like as I was taking notes in other situations, is what do you think life is teaching you right now? I have been a very bad listener with life recently. I've been pretty focused on work more than I feel like I've been working more than I should have, just because by working the amount of hours that I do, that takes away from my sleep. That also takes away from my friends and family. Case in point, I'm working an additional 3 hours sometimes at work. About, I'd say, 4 times a week. That's 12 hours in the week. That's 12 hours of additional income that I'm trying to work for, because the income does help with what's going on right now. There are several things I need to pay off. That's what everyone does. Everyone has a credit card or thing that they're paying off, loans or whatnot. And I feel like in my head that's pretty important to do. I also feel like at the same time that does take me sleeping does take away from being present. But I feel that when I'm in the weekend, I'm doing my very best to be present with my friends and family. I'm trying to be present with Joanna, and just I want to do well when I'm being present, but after what happened last weekend at the photo shoot, which I did with my housemates, I feel like some of my comments were not good. One of them was really excited for an outfit, and then they liked how they looked. However, when I said something, that ruined it. I didn't want to ruin it, but now I'm in a situation where I don't know what life is telling me, because I'm trying to be present, and I found it kind of cute, funny that they looked good. It just looked like it looked a particular way, and I thought it was funny and like in its own wholesomeness, but that definitely didn't translate to what I meant. So already I ruined an outfit. So I wish I was more self-aware about what I said, which makes me feel like do I don't have the liberty to say things anymore, just because, like, sure, you can just do better by saying the right. If you say something wrong, do better next time. And sometimes the damage is done, and I just can't do anything about it. A lot of people can't do anything about the damages they've wreaked or havocked, and that's what's life kind of teaching me right now. Just because I I feel like I'm doing everything right, but there I go and mess it up. I can't control it. What happens is what happens. I just wish the other person can get better afterwards, can feel better afterwards, because I already messed things up as it is. And I'm a little afraid that I'm not as present as I should be, but I can't help it sometimes, because I need to work that I need to work to make income, and sometimes me giving the extra 12 hours of my time to work helps with income, because I have to pay rent, but also it may or may not be detrimental sometimes. So I don't know where the line is, because I know that I'm doing everything I can to help with rent, with trying to be present with the money so we don't have to worry about the credit cards and stuff like that. But I also don't know where the line is because my household when I grew up, my household wasn't in a very, I'd say, safe situation. It didn't feel safe just because I was only ever the routine has always been wake up, school, study, and how well I did in school determined how well I was going to do outside of high school and out and within the family. And there was never really time to exercise self awareness if not trying to be like present. So I come to learn that I'm retracing my parents' mistakes of attention. Like I do. I remember times where my mom and dad would be. My dad would be working the normal 40-hour week just so that when he gets home, he's present with the family. And my dad would come home, and then I would be home doing my homework and whatever. My brother would be home and do things like that. But we I don't feel like we were ever exercised to be present, just because my mom always expected my brother and I to go home and study right away and make sure we had the A and whatnot. And so I always ended up finding myself as present as possible by playing games and having a split screen with the TV to where, granted, it may or may not be big enough for my dad, but it was playing something that he can just watch while I play my video game. I didn't need the audio to play a video game. There were subtitles, I can read it. And granted, I always play the same games multiple times because I wasn't really given the leisure to just buy the next game once I'm done. I played Kingdom Hearts 2, the Kingdom Hearts series, and some PlayStation 2 games, or 3 games like it was nobody's business. I would replay it and just do things. But being present with my dad, I did my best doing so with what I was able to do. And he was present. He was there watching the news or his TV show along with me. I changed the channel so that we can at least have time together. So that was great. But I think I'm making the mistake that my mom is, where she's working so often, and when she is home, she runs to her room to watch dramas, and then she expects us to focus on studying, get good grades, and then her problem became where she never knew how to really connect with us because my mom would always be working, but she would always be closing herself off in her bedroom after work because she was tired and everything. I just wish, a part of me did wish that she didn't feel like grades were important, because the weekends we could have went out and just like spend time together as a family. We on the weekends we could have just went out and enjoy the sunshine. Or with Joanna, she had family time where on the weekends they would go out shopping or they would go out to do a thing, and we only ever did that during breaks from school. But I'm trying to figure it out. Like, so maybe I can go home on time on Wednesdays again and just spend time with Joanna. Joanna has time off on Wednesday, so that'll be fine, right? If I didn't do overtime that day, I would hope that would help. I don't know. I don't know. Just because I do, it's knowing when to spend time with family is gonna be pretty important as I grow up. Because when I do have my own family, I got to figure out when and where is the cutoff time, because I don't know when the next chance I'll get. So, what can you do? The pay cut's gonna be really bad, but I don't know. I don't know how to really answer what life's teaching me right now, other than the fact that I'm may or may not be repeating my mom's mistake because she spent so much time at work, and I wish that I had a better example on how to spend time with family. But all I knew was my mom went to work to go home, and we had the money to pay the mortgage. We had money to pay for food and activities for school. But then if it wasn't for school, then she wouldn't pay for money for it. She would have allowances that would be based on how much we performed in school. Our performance determined how much we got at every report card. And I wish that wasn't the incentive. I wish the incentive to do well in school wasn't for that money. So I think when I'm in hell, when I'm a parent, I feel as long as they're not failing the class, that should be fine. I definitely do need to focus on when I have children, how comfortable they're doing, how well they're doing, how if they're expressing a certain hobby, I want to double down on their hobbies because if they choose a particular hobby that they would like to do, then I want to support that. I didn't feel really supported when I was in college because during I was in a phase to where I was getting really into fitness, and I brought I bought protein powder because I had the understanding that in order to build muscle you needed the proteins to help with it. Proteins and supplements were the construct the construction material required for you to build yourself because you are the building. And if there's if there's injury, if there are like certain things that need to be fixed, because exercise creates micro muscle tears, and inflammation comes from you protecting the body until it can fix itself. So supplements and protein help with the growth of the body, growth of the muscles. However, her reaction would always be throwing away my protein, throwing away my supplements, and believing that I would gain weight. Which yes, I would gain weight because that weight comes from building muscle. And if she was so she couldn't split the difference between fat weight and muscle weight. So I wasn't really given a good support for that. So if anything's like that, or like any interest in other people or things, hobbies, I would like to be present to doing that. I don't know. I have a few minutes. I'm sorry. I don't know why I got on such a rant with catching up with you guys, but let's see. How am I different from? Oh, I can't even read that. I'm gonna cross that out. I have a list I haven't really touched in a while. So, where are you between skeptical or cynical? I don't remember. I feel like I've had this question before, and I don't remember what I said. Let's define it. Cynical versus skeptical. Okay. Skeptics are people you go to where you're unsure because you know they'll help you refine your thoughts and give you ideas on how to be better. A skeptic is a doubter. A cynic is a disbeliever. So the question was, where are you between being doubting things and just I don't believe? I question myself versus like just nothing. Oh, hold on. Let me pull up a dictionary. Sorry. This is just part of the podcast. Sure. Cynical is believing that people are motivated by self-interest, distrust, and distrustful humans' sincerity or integrity. Her cynical attitude concerned with only one's own interests and typically disregards the extent of the appropriate. Okay, that's that on one. Okay, hold on. Let me do that again. Boop. not easily convinced, having doubts or reservations. Related to the theory that certain knowledge is impossible. Okay, so how do we define this? Distrustful? How where am I between being distrustful and being how do I it's so how skeptical am I then? Let's start with that. How skeptical am I? I'm For me, I find myself very not I don't feel very easily convinced half the time, or like I feel like I'm 60/40. I can go into things with the benefit of the doubt, but there is 40% of or 30% of things to where I have like I'm not convinced with until I see proof. I would take it with a grain of salt, but it comes from the amount of times I've been lied to. Like everyone's been lied to, from the Easter Bunny to the Tooth Fairy to being lied to about with enough people who have not done well to you. There are I have had friends that made me more skeptical as the relationship deteriorated, and I've had people who just I give them the benefit of the doubt only to fall. So I'm in a situation where I do a lot of more questionings, but I do have my reservations as I feel like I self prepare myself to what happens next. But when it comes to being cynical, I do believe everyone is in a way cynical, where they are motivated by their own self interest, but there is equally as many people who are empathetic. And I do believe that there are enough people being as that they can't. There are enough people that can't be empathetic as they are being cynical, because I can agree that life may or may not hurt you to where you start doubting others. You start and you're not convinced that people are there for you or helping you. I do understand there is a level amount. And then there's also enough people where there is an amount of people where there is a certain percentage of yourself that you're very distrustful to other people based on self-preservation. I can understand that. But there are as many people as this is really hard to say in words, but with ever with whatever percentage of people are worthy of being distrustful or worthy of like being doubtful, there are just as many people who you can trust and who can trust. You can trust their sincerity, you can trust their integrity as much people you don't distrust. So it's like gray. I live in the gray because I do understand that people are looking out for themselves, but also we naturally have an what is it incentive to be empathetic. We see someone who has suffered in the same ways that we have, and we want to extend a hand. And I don't know if that makes much sense, but the skeptics and the cynics are hard to really have a discussion over. But honestly, when it comes to being you can be a negative or a positive skeptic on top of that, as much as being a positive or negative cynic. But to be a skeptic, a negative skeptic allows good ones to flourish. Positive skeptics go beyond the removal of false claims. Okay, there's two types of skeptics. By removing bad ideas, negative skeptics allow good ones to flourish. But there's got to be. It's it's really tough. I picked a really bad answer, a really bad question to answer, but I'm really sorry. Um, but yeah, I don't. I think that's gonna be the end of this episode because I'm dragging it out, and I feel like I'm not doing the subject justice. So I'm very sorry in advance. But yeah, that's just how I'm doing right now. I'm in the middle between skeptic and cynic, just because things are getting stressful, and we just want to make sure we use our time wisely. As much as life's teaching me right now, I just have to do better. Like I have apologized to what I've done before, and I do know that I have to be better since doing those. From doing those, I have to be better, and I just have to do things differently. So we're gonna go right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. I struggled towards the end of it, but if you liked it, please consider subscribing. Tell me in the comments. Define cynic, define skeptic, because I had a hard time talking about it. And what's life teaching you? Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye. That's up.